Hey, Sean Wally here for Sean Wally Math. Today, we're going to be finding the equation of a line. So this is if you're writing a test or unit test on linear equations, linear functions, and you want to get ready for it, okay? So let's do this. Okay, so what I've done is I've grabbed a bunch of questions that would be typical types of questions you would find on a grade 10 linear functions test where you're asked to find the equation of the line. Okay, so we'll start right here with number 7. Okay, so number 7, let me read it out for you, says, write the standard form of an equation of a line that passes through this point, negative 2, 3, and has a slope of m equaling negative 3. So at this point, I would recognize that, to find the equation of the line, typically we're using y equals mx plus b or the point slope formula. Now I have the point and the slope. So I'm going to use the point slope formula, okay? The point slope formula goes y minus y sub 1 equals m open bracket x minus x sub 1. If we substitute that in there, we get y minus 3 is equivalent to negative 3x plus 2. However, the question does say that they want it in standard form. Standard form of the line is the form ax plus by equals c. So we're going to put it in that form by first distributing the negative 3 into the bracket. We'll get y minus 3 is equivalent to negative 3x minus 6. And then in this form, we typically want a positive. So I'm going to bring 3x to the other side and the constant 3 to this side. The resulting equation will be 3x plus y is equivalent to negative 3. And there you have it. There is the equation in standard form. 3x plus y is equal to negative 3. Okay, moving on to the next question. It says, write the point slope form of an equation of a line that passes through these 2 points. Well, in order to use the point slope formula of a line, you need a point and the slope. Now, we have 2 points, but we don't have the slope. So we're going to have to use the slope formula to calculate it. If you recall the slope formula being y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And then we substitute it in there. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to go 1 minus 3 over 2 minus 4. This will result in a slope equaling positive 4 over negative 2, or m equaling negative 2. So at this point, you now have the slope, but you need a point. Well, you have 2 points. Which point should you use? There's actually 2 answers to this question. One answer would be using this point, where we would have y plus 3 is equivalent to negative 2, x minus 4. And or the other answer using this point would be y minus 1 equals negative 2, x minus 2. What's interesting is if you isolate y in both of these equations, you will actually end up with the exact same thing. I know, math, right? Okay, so we got these 2 out of the way. Let's clear it up. And we will move up a bit so you guys can see these questions a little bit better, a little bit focused. Here we go. Okay, so away we go. Looking at this line, write the equation of a line that goes through this point and is perpendicular. Now, anytime in this unit you see the word perpendicular or parallel, you should immediately think slope. Okay, so, perpendicular to this line, I want to know the slope of this line. This line is in y equals mx plus b. So m equals negative 4. So write the equation line through 1, 2, and is perpendicular to this line. Now, this line has a slope of negative 4. The perpendicular slope, if you recall, would be flip it and change the sign, change it to positive, 1 over 4. So this is the slope that I want to use then, because the perpendicular slope of the line given. This is the point that I want to give, and I'm just going to plug it in. Y minus 2 into the point slope formula equals 1 over 4 x minus 1. Now, this question wasn't specific as to what form they wanted the answer in, so this is just fine. Point slope formula, Answer is right there, okay? Find the slope between these 2 points. Very, very easy. Again, just using the slope formula. This question, I mean, in comparison to the other questions, pretty easy. -3 minus 0 over 3 minus 0, which will be -3 over 3, which is -1. There you go. Okay, cool. Let's get rid of this stuff. And again, move the questions up so that you can see better. Okay, here we go. We got write the equation in slope-intercept form where m equals -2 and b equals 6. Really, really easy, this one. Essentially, all you're going to do is go y equals mx plus b and substitute y equals -2x plus 6. And that is the slope y-intercept form, so your slope-intercept form. So you're good to go on that question. Write the equation in standard form of the line given, okay? So what have they given us? The slope and the y-intercept. Into y equals mx plus b it goes. So we have y equals 3 over 4x plus 5. But in standard form, we're not allowed to have any fractions. Also, x has to be positive. So to get rid of the fractions, I'm going to distribute a 4. And what I'll get is 4y, equals 3x plus 20. So I'm multiplying 4 times y times 3 over 4 and times 5. From here, I'm going to bring everything over to the y over to the right-hand side. And I'll bring the constant over to this side. So what's going to happen here, these are canceled. I'm left with -20 is equivalent to 3x minus 4y as these cancel too. Then I'll just change the order. I'll just say 3x minus 4y equals -20. And there it is. There's the standard form of that line. Okay, I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch it up. And I'm going to create my own questions because I'm looking at these questions and I'm like, you know what? I could ask something on my tester quiz that's a little bit more sophisticated. So I'm going to do that for you. I mean, not much more, but let's step it up just a little bit, okay? So the question would be, let's get a text box here going on. It would be find the equation of the of the line that is perpendicular to 3x minus 8y equals 16 and contains the point, let's say, -4 and 5. And there it is. Find the equation of the line that is perpendicular to this line and contains this particular point. Okay, so what do we need for the equation of the line? We need the point in the slope or the point in the y-intercept. We have a point. We don't have the slope. We need the slope of this line, but it's not in a form to give us the slope. So there's 2 ways to find the slope of a line when it's in this, when the standard form is sitting in front of you, and I'll show you both. One way is to just isolate y. Okay, so put it in y equals mx plus b form. Well, minus 3x from both sides, and I'll have -8y is equivalent to -3x plus 16. And then I'll divide everything by -8. And I'll have y equals 3 over 8x minus 2. Okay, so at this point, you should recognize the slope of the line here is 3 over 8. However, we want the perpendicular slope to this line. So perpendicular slope is -8 over 3. If you're not sure about how I got that, check out my video on parallel and perpendicular lines to figure out how to figure out a perpendicular slope. It's the negative reciprocal. You got to flip it and change the sign, okay? All right, so I have the slope. I have the point. We put them together and use the point slope formula. Okay, so there you go. Using the Poitot formula, y minus 5 is equivalent to negative 8 over 3 bracket x plus 4. Again, if you're asked to put that in y equals mx plus b, you still have to isolate y. I'll do an example of that. Let's isolate y from here. This is okay. This is acceptable. You have answered the question at this point. However, if I want it in another form, you got a little bit more work to do. Let's get rid of this 3 down here by timesing everything by 3. 3y minus 15 equals negative 8 x plus 4. We will distribute that negative 8. Negative 8x minus 32. Bring the 15 to the other side. We'll get 3y equals negative 8x minus 27. And then divide everything by 3. And y equals negative 8 over 3x minus 9. Perfect. Okay, so there you go. There is the equation of the line in y equals mx plus b form that is perpendicular to the line given. So I hope you have enjoyed today's lesson on finding the equation of the line given different parameters. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe or hit like. And thank you for watching the video, and continue watching my other videos. Have a great day.